We got this. All right, everyone. It's Peter A. DeLuca here, AKAPAD 13, your favorite YouTuber, podcast, IGTVer. I don't know if that's a thing. Artist. Because I do all of these things. I do it for you. I do it. I love you. Do me a favor. Follow, subscribe, comment, show your friends this. You guys know the drill, but let's get into it. Today we're talking this boy, Jack Kirby. Let's get to it. The true king of comics. What we're about to jump into is the interesting aspects of holding an idol to your heart. Building someone up in not so much in an image, but an idea. Jack Kirby, for a lot of people who hit the paper, who hit the lead, day in and day out, Jack Kirby represents a grind, a pain. There's an unfairness to life that we're all drawn to when it comes to Jack Kirby. So why is this? Why are we drawn to someone who didn't get the breaks, doesn't get credit that he deserves, and in so many ways has been robbed? Now, some of the brightest minds of the comic book industry have rallied around Jack Kirby. They've gathered around his grave, and a lot of it too, before he died, for creator rights, the right to have your artwork back. Which it's hard to understand that was always a tough contention point. That was more or less like an activist contention point. I don't know what those contracts were. I don't know how they were cited. I don't know what clauses they had within the contract for original artwork. So if someone pays you to draw a comic book page, they own it. My discovery for Jack Kirby came from the guys I followed, the Todd McFarlanes, the Rob Liefelds, rallying around Jack Kirby in his later years, working with him, giving him opportunities to still make they gave him an opportunity to make some coin, and I didn't notice at the time, but he was struggling. It was a hard last few years for Jack Kirby, and the people that he influenced did their best to return that favor. So along the way, Hollywood sputters out with comic book movies. It was a painful period. The technology, the storylines, the methodology, the approach for comic books had to catch up to Hollywood. The technology, the special effects, like all of these things, there had to have been a convergence point. So, but when that happened, it was interesting, because Jack Kirby was left out of the conversation, and everything became Stanley. And for anyone that's familiar with how comics were created at one point, a lot of them were created with byline, like very simple, paragraph-long plot points, and the artist extrapolated that and made that into 22 pages and sometimes beyond, creating characters, designing characters, working with their editors and associate editors. Stanley at the time was steering the ship, running the ship. He took all the credit, took all the blame. And so what happened is during that era, those early years, everything Jack Kirby still resonates. It survived. It survived because there's so much power and energy within the artwork that it's hard to look away from it. It truly is. The forms are deformed. The faces are blocks. The hands are cigars. But there's energy and there's power to it. And anyone that's an artist, you try and get as close to this as possible. In comparison, there's nothing that Stanley wrote that a writer today strives to recreate. But the Marvel movies hit, and Stanley took this mantle and he gets like a statue, and the statue has like all these creations around him, and he gets like a poster with all his creations, and he's in an X-Men movie, and he's in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and he's even in Captain America, and he's not even that's not even his creation. Jack Kirby co-created Captain America with Joe Simon.
For close to 8 decades, the 94-year-old has been dreaming up superheroes.
Yeah, I can fly.
Hundreds of characters, from Spider-Man, the Hulk, the Fantastic Four, X-Men, Iron Man, and the Avenger.
So, like, at this time, I envisioned more people knowing about Jack Kirby, appreciating his cultural impact, and we're almost where we were pre-90s with Jack Kirby awareness. Look, you might be watching this and you're wearing. There's a chance you could be wearing underwear. You could be wearing Jack Kirby underwear right now. You could be wearing Jack Kirby underwear. You know, like, that's where we are when it comes to the King of Comics. That's why he's the true King of Comics. He forever will be. And so many people are confused with Stan Lee's contributions. I don't want to take anything away from Stan Lee, but you know, Stan Lee had people around him that had an interest in making Stan Lee a name, and you know, I'm talking within the last 10 years, and there definitely has been that type of push. But you know, like, no one's fighting for Jack Kirby's name. No one's fighting for Jack Kirby's name. This dude was in World War II. This dude literally saw combat.
Out of 1,000 men, only me and 4 other guys came out. See, people think about war like they think about comics or they think about Broadway plays. They don't think that it's serious, that it's reality.
And put that ferocity, like, into his pages. Like, if you need simple illustrations of why Jack Kirby's Jack Kirby, a lot of cool things, like the coolest things that resonate in other media are from Jack Kirby. The best episodes of Superman, the animated series, Thor Ragnarok, that completely changed, even visually, the landscape of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Silver Surfer cartoon series of the 90s. There's a lot of artists today that they emulate. It's not even paying homage. They're drawing what they feel is correct because there's a truth in Jack Kirby's style. And few illustrators, period, fine art or not, commercial art or not, comic book art or not, there's few people that have that power. And his artwork literally has a power. And that's where we are. But look, everyone, you should know about Jack Kirby. Google him, look him up, hit Amazon, just search Jack Kirby and buy yourself a couple books and read them. And you'll see someone that put it all on the page, and there's a good term in sports. It's leaving it on the field. Jack Kirby left it on the page. But look, Peter A. DeLuca, AKAPAD, I love you, everyone. IGTV gang strong. I'll catch you next time.